I had a love in my life since I was 15 years old. The first time I remember my soon to be love was when I was 15 years old at the Presbyterian Youth Group Hayride. Madam Contester, fellow Toastmasters and guests, I lived way out in the middle of nowhere. There was a lot of wide open spaces. The leaders took us out to somebody's pasture so that we could enjoy ourselves, get to know our friends a little bit better, have some fun, and roast some hot dogs and marshmallows. The only problem with roasting the hot dogs and marshmallows that night was that it was very windy. So the flames were whipping in the wind and ashes were flying all over the place. I think the leaders thought, well, I think we better put out this fire before we burn the whole county down. So they put it out and they took us back to the church. They wrapped us up in blankets as good as they could because it was very cold that night. They gave us some much needed hot chocolate and they sent us on our way home. This was the first time I'd ever ridden with my soon to be love in a car. Now, he lived on one side of town and I lived on the other side of town. Not a real big deal because it was a small town, but that wind turned into a tornado and it ripped down Main Street, destroying some of the businesses on Main Street and going right over the top of his car. So you could say our relationship had a very stormy beginning. We dated most of the way through high school, but in order to be successful in that little town, you had to leave it. He left first because he was older than I was, and then I left. And we just seemed to lose track of each other for 30 years. We finally got back together, and now you could say we had a whirlwind relationship. Because 1 month, 1 week, and 1 day after we were together again, we were married. You say, Sandy, how could you possibly do that? You're new people. You don't know each other anymore. No, but we just knew. And we had a great relationship. I'd say we had 15 minutes of fights the whole time we were married for 14 years. We were just a couple of kids again, exploring our world together. Did we have adult things to do? Yes. Did we have adult responsibilities? Yes. But for the most part, we were just a couple of kids having fun again. Until one day, I got a call from the paramedics that he had had a major heart attack. And as quickly as he came into my life, he was now gone out of my life. I acquired something that day. It's called chronic grief. I didn't have a broken heart. I felt somebody had taken my heart, ripped it out of my body, torn it into a million pieces, thrown it on the ground, and stomped on it. Like a flower, I was crushed. What happens then when you lose the person that you spent 99% of your time with? You find yourself with these people I call grief adjacent. They're people who love you, they know you're hurting, but they haven't been through the grief experience that you've had, so they don't quite know how to deal with you. One of those people was my mom. Now, I call my mom a pioneer woman. And when you think of pioneers, you think of people that will push, shove, pull, do whatever they need to do to get something done. And that was my mom. In fact, when she was 90 years old, she fell off a horse and she did not have a leg. It wasn't the horse's fault. The horse was very tame. But this is where osteoporosis meets horseback riding and it doesn't quite work out. But she was determined she was going to get back up on that horse again. And she did when she was 91. We have chronic grief, but we have other chronic things that we get in life. What about parenthood? It's a good thing, but it's also chronic. My mom, when I was left for college, didn't say, bye bye, see you later, don't want anything more to do with you, don't ever contact me again. No, because she was a chronic parent. I too am a chronic parent. My oldest son is 35 years old, and I'm a mama llama. I'm pretty chill, but if you mess with me, I'm going to spit in your face and kick you in the shins because I love him still. I can't take that love, put it in a box, tie it in a bow, and stick it up on a shelf. It doesn't work that way. What happens when you have chronic grief? Well, it hurts. It hurts a lot for a long time. But you finally figure out you have to move through life with it. And how do you do that? Well, your heart opens up. It accepts more love in, like the love I had for my grandchildren. You can heal. I teach a grief group in my church, and I'm healing from that. But I will always be a little bit crushed. And like a flower, when it gets crushed, the sweet aroma of its perfume comes out more stronger and it is more effective. And people, when they get crushed, can also become stronger and more effective. Madam Contrast Chair.